Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to JJC Aerospace. Today we will be watching the 6th Starship launch. We have watched the 4th and the 5th. Just to recap, in the 4th, the Starship went up, but during re-entry the flap kind of broke, and the Super Heavy splashed down in the back um back in the ocean. And in the 5th flight, the Super Heavy managed to land back on the tower, and the Starship landed in the Indian Ocean again, exploding in the end. So now we are watching the 6th. They said it might not be as smooth as the 5th because they're testing some new features. And here's a fun fact. I just realized on flight 5 they had a banana on ship the whole time. So let's unmute the mic and yeah.
Exactly. However, once the water for the deflector system begins flowing at T
Okay,
10
so
seconds,
fuel is
any issue after that
pretty
will be an
much
automatic
full.
scrub for the day, as the teams would need to refill the deflector's water tanks as well as the propellant storage tanks.
So basically,
over at
I
the
would
tank farm before we're able
watch
to
this
make
whole
another
flight,
attempt.
and it's really early in the morning because of different time zones. I'm all the way in Asia, while they're all the way in America. It'll launch at 4 p.m. exactly for them, but for us, it is around like 5:30 in the morning. So yeah.
Exactly. Now, just as a reminder, that T minus 40-second hold, if we opt to use it, everything is still potentially go for launch, so nothing to be worried
Okay,
about
now
there.
I would
At that
stop
point,
recording
basically, up
and
until
start
T minus 40
again
seconds,
once
all the ports are
Starship is
just
going to
holds.
launch.
This would allow the
Probably
team
you
to wait
won't
for
want to
final
hear all
checkout
this
to assess
yapping. If
propellant
you do,
levels, engines,
you
avionics,
should
vehicle
go on
pressurization,
X and go to
range,
SpaceX.
weather.
They would
Usually
post
we've
a
had
video
trip
right
months
there.
lingering
So
in the past,
yeah, I'll
but that doesn't
post
sound
this
like
in
that is
the
the case today.
description too.
Today, no go for launch.
Okay, so
All right, we're now T minus 20 seconds until liftoff.
yep,
of
you just
Starship
heard that,
Flight
T minus
6.
20 seconds.
This will mark our
And
second
this
attempt
flight, it's
to
never
catch the Super Heavy
guaranteed
booster at the
success
launch tower,
because they
as well as
because you have to make sure that the ship and booster are both in condition. Okay, 2, 1. Oh yes. I'm actually not as excited as the previous flights from watching this, but then it is an amazing view this time. Oh gosh. But then it is still a truly amazing view. I watched this so many times, but then
Booster Raptor chamber pressure nominal.
I hope this flight looks a lot more better than flight 5 because in the end the flap on the Starship kind of broke off. Let's hope that they fix this problem. I think they did. SpaceX always learns from their problems really quickly.
Booster and ship, avionics, power, and telemetry nominal.
Wow. So we are about 1 minute in, and yeah. You can hear that
A
boom.
little over a minute into
Maximum
flight.
dynamic pressure.
We're about 6 miles away, so all the sound's still hitting us here. Hearing good call outs that power telemetry nominal. That's
Yeah, you hear
true.
that
You
like
see all 33
sound
Raptor engines lit
in
up
the
on
background,
telemetry
like the sound
screens.
of the Starship launching.
At this point, we've passed through that point of maximum aerodynamic pressure, that
Okay, max
Q.
Q.
Now coming up in just a little over a minute from now is going to be hot staging. So we're going to see the 6 engines on the ship ignite while still attached to the booster. Just before that, we'll see all but 3 center engines on the booster shut down. And what we call MECO, it's most engines cut off instead of main engine.
Yeah, so basically they kind of changed it.
While we continue to watch it go up,
It's not main engine cut off now. They only cut off like most of the engines. They keep a few engines to keep in control of the ship. Not the ship, like the booster, yeah.
Just about 30 seconds away from hot
Yup,
staging.
in 30 seconds we're gonna see hot staging for the 5th time, actually. because on the first flight they didn't manage to do hot staging. Okay, so basically this is the first ever afternoon flight of the Starship, and so basically when it actually comes to Indian Ocean, people can actually have a daylight view of the Starship.
The return flag
Wow.
is set for true.
Okay. Yep. Hot staging again. That amazing view where a bunch of yellow flares just light up around the ship and the booster.
All right, hot staging confirmed. 6 out of 6 lit on the ship.
Starship continues to boost on while
we are go for catch.
go for catch? No way, we are doing this again. Okay, let's hope the launch tower doesn't explode.
Dan, great views of planet Earth behind that super heavy booster. Right now it is
okay, so
good news there telling
let's
us that
see if the booster will light up on fire in the end, like last time.
The second stage or the upper portion of the vehicle. Follow along with the telemetry on the bottom of your screen.
Yeah, booster is currently, super heavy is currently in its boost back burn.
It's shutting off a few engines.
This boost back burn lasts just a little bit over a minute, so we've got a little, approximately 30 seconds left.
We've had shutdown of that boost back burn. Up next will be hot stage.
Okay, so now it's all engines cut off.
The view from the camera on the left, or from the booster on the left-hand side of your screen.
The booster is still mainly in space, though.
Cam there on the right-hand side of your screen. We'll see those grid fins.
Booster offshore divert.
And we can also see that the hot stage has
the
been
hot
jettisoned.
stage ring has jettisoned. As I said in the fourth flight, it will be a it will be like a quick change for now because it can reduce the weight on the booster, therefore making it easier for like landing in the ocean or like being caught by the booster.
Unfortunately, that means that we are no-go for the catch.
Oh, damn it, no go for the catch. We're not catching the booster anymore.
Operators on console have been actively evaluating the commit criteria for that return to the launch tower, and unfortunately we did not have a pass on those commit criteria, so we are no-go for tower catch.
So today we won't be seeing the catch anymore. That is actually very sad, but we can still watch the Starship flight and the landing of the Super Heavy, possibly in the water.
What you're seeing on your screen is ship currently making its way towards the Indian Ocean, still looking good so far.
Exactly. So views there of the booster on the left-hand side of your screen, views of the ship on the right-hand side of your screen.
It's starting to get foggy on like the Super Heavy view.
That we would be able to make a tower catch today. So while we were hoping for it, like we said, it was pretty epic on attempt 1, but the safety of the teams and the public and the pad itself are paramount. So we are accepting no compromises in any of those areas.
Exactly, and we're still going to get a lot of good flight data with booster even, but especially with ship. Again, we have an additional objective today to do an in-space relight of a Raptor engine, which again will help us set us up for
I think they did that.
Deorbit burns, which is
they did that test on flight 3 or flight 4, but then like it didn't succeed. So I think they're re-attempting it on flight 6.
Super heavy as it's making its way back down to Earth.
Yeah, once again, we are attempting an offshore landing of the Super Heavy booster. So we have seen this before, and it is still very fun to watch, watching it come down for a soft splashdown off the Gulf Coast of Texas. We can see it there re-entering. We saw earlier those grid fins. There are 4 hypersonic grid fins.
Okay, they relighted some of the Raptor engines. I see they're actually trying to land offshore.
Gone down to 3, just as we expected.
Okay. I think they're like modeling sort of a tower landing situation, but in the water.
Super heavy.
Yeah, I'm sure
we saw this on flight 4.
Will be pretty awesome once again. So we'd like to confirm a water landing once again for the Super Heavy booster. Congrats to the SpaceX team for making that milestone as well. Now, ship continues to look good. we can see that it is
Okay, okay.
while all of
Almost
that was
150
happening,
kilometers above the Earth.
the crowd here in Hawthorne continuing to react to all these amazing views that we're getting. The next milestone is
Starship is in terminal guidance.
great news there. Starship terminal guidance, referring to what we see here on our screen, the upper stage, at about 8 minutes 35 seconds or so, we have ship engine cutoff,
Okay.
which will be the cutoff of the Raptor engines.
Oh yeah, that is nice to watch. Yup, there it goes. The outer engines.
We can
Or
see
like the
on
vacuum
our screen,
Raptor
ship
engines.
giving us some incredible views brought to us by Starlink. This view is also very interesting because we can see
So basically
the
they
receding
attach
tile line
these
that we referred to
big
earlier,
black
where we
squares
mentioned we
on
have
the top
removed
of the
a
Starship
number of
so
heat
they
shield
can
tiles
communicate
in order
with
to test out and
Starlink
push the envelope on
during
the ship and
its
demonstrate
journey in
what
space
its
and
capabilities are.
during
Ship
re-entry.
And there we just heard call out for SECO,
Okay.
ship engine cutoff. Great news there. Everything continuing to look
Now
awesome.
we have to
for
wait for a
ship.
whole half an hour
Full
until
view
like
looking
ship
aft
goes re-entry.
on ship here.
But then
Ship FTS is saved. Nominal orbit
I'll
insertion.
also record
There's that call out we were
Starship
waiting for. Confirmation
going
of
for
good
like
orbital
Raptor
insertion for ship today.
Raptor relight. I'm
It has
also
been
gonna
a
record
very
that.
exciting afternoon so far. We'd like to send it back over to Dan, who can give us that live view experience. Dan, once again, are you okay after witnessing another Starship
Okay, so
launch?
I'm gonna stop recording
Yeah,
until
totally
the Raptor
fine.
relight.
It's
So basically we are 30 minutes in and I just noticed there was a whole banana here the whole time. I mean there was a banana here the whole time. And like they said a banana is about the size of Starlink, so that would be like one of the tests. But then why did they put a banana here though? Like they strapped it so tight. If they like it's just weird. But okay, I think we just have to go with that.
pretty frequently.
Okay,
We just
so
did it with the landing
it has
burn,
been 37
and
minutes
that
and
boost back burn on
they
the
just
booster, and we've done it on
they
ship
just
landing
announced
burns, and we
the
just haven't done it in
Raptor
this
relight
microgravity
and it
environment
should
where
be
your
coming up in less
propellant
than 1
management
minute.
and a lot of other things are different as you're not weighed
Relight
down
then
by
will
the
start
force
up.
of Earth's gravity.
Oh, okay, it's starting up. But for some reason, oh, okay,
Engine
there it
Call
is.
out for startup.
Okay, now it
There's
cut
some
off
light.
again.
There's that Raptor relit.
But I mean,
And
a few
shut
second
down.
burn is already very good because it's good for
All right, there you have it. The first time
yeah,
ever
correction
lighting
of
a Raptor while
tra-
in outer
like
space.
trajectory
our
adjustment.
astro
I
burn.
think
So
like
really
yeah,
cool to see
if you're
that
going
relit.
to
That's a pretty
Mars or
critical
something, like
capability
you
that
need
we're
to
gonna
change your
need,
trajectory.
when we're doing
I mean, you
orbital
could
missions in the not too
basically
distant
use
future. So check another one
RC
off.
thrusters,
that was
but
a
then
really cool.
like
That was
using
an objective
engines
we
sometimes
really
can help
wanted to
out
hit on this
too.
one.
So
good to
we
see
just
ship,
saw that
knock
happen,
that one
and
out in
I'm
orbit.
gonna
But
start
for
this
now,
recording
we're gonna
again
coast for just a little
during
bit longer,
re-entry.
and then it'll be time for ship entry. So we'll get the usual light show.
Well, it has been another 3 minutes, and right now we're preparing for ship entry. We're still 20 meters above the atmosphere, but they are adjusting the flaps and everything on the ship to make sure they're ready for re-entry. I think it just started up. Maybe. Okay. Yep, we still get that light show from last time, and every single time before where we have like landed in the sea. Okay, it's looking very cool because like as I said last time, I really like how like the plasma seems like it's not moving, but they're actually not moving. It's the ship that is moving very fast through the atmosphere, creating plasma. So it seems like there's fire around it, but then it's just plasma because the air got condensed after the Starship is moving so fast. Okay, there it is. So basically, I feel like there's a few different stages, and then each stage has like a different color. Um, like my favorite part is the part that you get green and purple lights, and then like um, it just looks really cool. Like, see, like it seems like the plasma is not moving at all, but then it actually contains a huge amount of energy. Okay. I don't know if it's going through re-entry or not. I think not, because it's still above the atmosphere by 9 kilometers. Well, right now, the sun is actually starting to rise over here. So basically, I mean, right now, I don't know if I would get a view of Starship. Because I am not next to the beach or something, so, maybe there won't be a view this time. Okay, we are increasing speed. You see that number is rising really quickly, and the ship is preparing for re-entry. It looks like it's already going through re-entry, but is it really? I can't really tell though. So, okay, 2 more kilometers until we are officially past the carbon line. Basically marking 100 kilometers above the ground. Also, what they call edge of atmosphere, but then there's still atmospheric particles above that. It's just that it's so thin, it's barely noticeable. Okay, I think that was real re-entry. The ship is moving positions to like try to get ready for like the re-entry. Okay. So basically, in the beginning of the video, they said Starship, the chances of it actually landing this time is actually not really high. This time won't really go that smooth, but then they would be testing a lot more new things, so they could actually learn from it and do a lot of successful Starship flights in the future. So yeah. Oh, so this time instead of just giving us 1 cam, they gave us 4. So basically, I'm watching this very early in the morning, so I got no friends online. If this flight was at night or something, I could actually get a few people to watch this along with me. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it here as it is, and I'll come back in a few minutes.
We heard the call out there telling us that the Starship vehicle is now 83 kilometers above, coming up around T plus, well, now actually, the ship, as you can see, is beginning to re-enter the Earth's atmosphere.
Yep, you heard
As
it.
a reminder, one of the main goals of today's flight test is for the ship to make it through the extreme heat of re-entry and to do so in
Yep,
a
so
controlled
basically,
manner. Now,
I think their goal this time
typically a
is
portion
not
of
to
flight
like
where we don't
get
have
their
communication capability with the
their goal
spacecraft
this time is
because
not
it's
to
re-entering
break their
at or
flaps
around orbital velocity,
again,
which is
like they did
roughly
last
8
time.
kilometers per second or about 5 miles per second. Now, at those speeds, yep, pretty fast. The spacecraft is moving through the atmosphere.
Okay, it's slowing down now.
Rather quickly, and that results in friction, as we can see that starting to happen on our screen, and this creates a plasma field
I'm
around
really
the
nervous
vehicle.
right now because they
That
never done like
blanket
one
of
fully
plasma
successful
distorts
re-entry
communication
flight without
frequencies,
any
so
parts of the ship
it's not uncommon
breaking.
to experience brief blackouts in communication.
Looks like the screen just froze.
Starship is approaching the peak heating phase of entry.
So that is that is what I like most about re-entry. It looks like the ship isn't even moving, but then it's actually moving at this speed. It kept changing, so I can't really read it out.
It's what's really allowed us to get
26,400 something. Actually 390 something,
mystery
80
box
something. Yeah.
essentially for spacecraft design, where when you're re-entering through the atmosphere, at least getting anything in real time hasn't ever been possible before. But we're able to not just get these views, but real-time telemetry from the ship as it's coming through. Do really want to stress that we are really pushing the ship today. The heat shield is not in the same configuration as it was last flight, where we had a team of ship techs do just an otherworldly task, replacing the entire heat shield, thousands of tiles, installing a backup of LATIV.
Yeah, I heard there's like thousands of heat shield tiles.
A pinpoint landing on Flight 5. We did not do that with this one. We have some backup in those really sensitive areas around the flat, but this is an older generation heat shield. And knowing we weren't going to do that, we even
so it's an older generation heat shield, so the flaps won't really survive, I think.
Where we're testing some backups.
So basically, there's nothing much to it anymore if the flaps don't survive. But then that's not the goal of like this mission.
As you guys talked about, we gave
actually maybe that is
a couple hundred tiles trimmed off the sides, and that's where we might have catch fittings in the future. But color's starting to come in. So it looks like things are going to start heating up, Kate and Jesse.
Yeah, fun fact, Dan, we actually removed 2,100 heat shield tiles.
Oh, really? That's so many.
In order to basically present that necessary receding line, which you kind of can see there in your view. Think back to previous flights. The heat shield line came up further on the vehicle, and just like Dan said, we want to test the vehicle beyond what we think it is capable of carrying based on our simulations and calculations. So once again, to just be super plain, don't be surprised if we see some wackadoodle stuff happen here. We won't be. There are a number of things that we are testing out intentionally to see what the ship can take.
Yeah, exactly. And knowing what those limits are will really help us design the vehicle of the future. Essentially, removing those tiles helps us remove a lot of weight from the vehicle, a lot of things that might potentially need refurbishment in the future. And the goal is to come up with a heat shield pattern or design that we don't have to refurbish. We can just continue to use it over and over again, and that's why we're
maybe just
some of those tiles
probably
and,
a few huge parts would help.
Removing a lot of those tiles, as Kate has been mentioning.
Exactly. And, looking forward to the Starship capability of the future, we want to be able to catch Starship like we do with boosters. And so the next flight, we want to better understand where we can install catch hardware.
Okay, so I am going to watch it again. Watch the next flight.
And today's flight will help inform, does the stainless steel hold up like we think it may based on experiments that we conducted on Flight 5. Now, continuing to look, amazing views. Yeah, Dan, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, like, there's so much on this flight that we're doing to try and, make all the ships that we're about to start flying even better, just really understand what their capabilities are going to be. We've got kind of the next-gen ship lined up for Flight 7. It's got all of those heat shield upgrades and everything. And one of the things that we're going to be doing that's most interesting, and one of the reasons we wanted daylight, is we're going to be flying pretty aggressively as ship comes in. We're going to be kind of nose down. And
okay, so this time instead of showing like the other view, like where like the background doesn't move, they're just gonna show the flap, and then like you can't really see much here for some reason.
But always a chance that bet doesn't pay off.
Looks like
that just helps us know, like,
it's heating up a
Starship
lot.
is now halfway through the peak heating phase of entry.
Sweet, halfway there, halfway home, guys.
Yep, now we have that
Yeah, and if
view.
you guys again can follow
So
along with
cool.
the altitude and the speed of ship as it's making its way back down to Earth, bottom right hand corner of your screen. Speed is still going really, really fast. Again, as it gets closer to Earth, we'll see that altitude drop a little bit faster. It's kind of dropping pretty slow right now. And again, as we get closer and closer,
It's gonna take a long
to
time for like
literally the surface
Starship
of the
to
water,
get
then
back
we'll
into
start to
the
see that
ocean.
speed pick up. And if we can make it through this re-entry, we will attempt to do that flip maneuver once again and splash down in the ocean.
Exactly.
Yep.
Like we've been saying, we are testing beyond the perceived limits of the vehicle. We want to go learn more about the ship, and this is a great opportunity to do that. So really pushing the flight hardware in a flight environment to help inform these future designs. As we've mentioned, it has a different heat shield. This heat shield is not the same generation as what we flew last time. This one is one generation older. So we are also testing out new secondary thermal protection.
I don't know if the older
materials.
ones are
So
stronger
basically,
or
like if
not,
the heat
because
shield isn't in this one spot, can this
I don't
other
know if they
material
used it in
protect
Flight
the
3
metal?
or Flight
Is
4.
the thinking
Right
there.
now I don't have much information.
Also
I'm just
checking
watching
of
this
the
flight.
ship's structural strength in those areas where we're looking to add that ship catch hardware, just to see if it survives entry.
Yep, I'm gonna
So,
pause
yeah,
this
as we've
video
been
right
saying,
here
we've-
because it's
we've
gonna take a
done,
long time
a lot
for
of calculations
the
and
ship
simulations.
is gonna make any
This view right here
for the
is
ship
super
to
cool.
make
This
any
is
progress
looking
into the
out
atmosphere.
from
So yeah.
the aft end that the vehicle
Oh yeah.
is
Now we get this
transonic
view where you
around
get green
T
flares.
plus 1
Those are the
hour and
coolest.
2 minutes or so.
So basically
That
we're still
means
going in
that
really
the
fast.
vehicle is
And yeah.
traveling near the speed of sound. We say
And we're also
near the speed
near the
of
speed
sound
of
because
sound,
there's
just
certain parts
as
of the
they
vehicle
said.
where
So
airflow is
look,
going faster and other parts
it
where
used to
it's
slow
going
down
slower,
like
so it kind of teeters
slowly,
there
like
on the brink
probably
of the speed of sound. So
yeah, a lot more
once
slower
we
than this.
have
And now
equal
look how
flow
fast
on all parts,
it
then
is
we'll
going.
hear it
And
subsonic.
then later it's gonna go
Yeah,
so
that-
fast.
And almost real quick,
Much faster than this.
I'm sorry.
And
Over to you, Jesse.
because
Sorry
like
about
it
that.
is daylight
Yeah, and great minds think alike.
in
That's
India,
exactly what I was
so
gonna
now
point
if
out,
we
is
look
that we're
down we can
getting a
actually
lot
see
clearer
everything.
view of the Earth
Look,
in the background
we can
with,
see
the different
the Earth
temperatures that we're
as
seeing
Starship
with the
is
different
going back
colors
to
of that plasma
back
around the ship, which is
to
really, really
splashdown.
cool to
So
see. Again,
look, we can see a lot more things now,
we
unlike last
are
time,
pushing
which
the limits
we
of
just see
ship
black
today,
in the background.
but so far everything is looking pretty nominal.
Yeah.
We'll see how the next few minutes goes.
Yeah. Like
So
we said
basically,
before, don't be
like
surprised
the
if this
flap
is not
breaking just
entirely
yet.
smooth sailing all the way down to the ocean surface.
Oh, it's India.
Similar to Flight 5, we are
Actually, is it
targeting
India?
the same
No.
splashdown location
It's some
in the Indian
just
Ocean,
land below.
but we are not
Or is it
expecting
land?
to
Or is
recover
it just
the vehicle.
clouds?
Right, and
I'm
we were
actually
getting
not
some
sure right
glimpses
now,
of
but
the
it looks
flaps. The
pretty much
flaps
like
so
land.
far are looking pretty good. We're
Imagine
not
the people
seeing any
looking
burn through. There's
at the
those flaps
Starship
again,
from like
in that
below.
hinge area, which is our most concerning area there. That's great news for us for now. Again, the next few minutes could change as we continuously push those limits.
Yep, that's what they
Yeah,
said.
once we slow down a little bit, once we're subsonic essentially, so I think that's about 1,200 kilometers an hour. Once we're down below that,
But
that's
then
when
I think we're
kind
gonna
of
reach
dip
that
our
very
nose
soon. Look
down
at the speed it's
and get
going
that
down,
more
just
aggressive
as I
angle of
said.
attack. Normally we're just belly flop right into the water, pretty much that position. But if we're going to be able to do return to launch
I would
sites,
be.
we're
I would
gonna
want
wanna
to
be
be
able
in
to
like
fly with a little bit more of an
wherever
angle of
this
attack,
place
get you
is.
a little bit more
I want to
range
watch
as
Starship,
you're coming
but then
through.
like
And
I'm
so
so far away,
this'll be
and
just
I
a
probably
test
have
to
no
see
time to
quite
actually
how
go there
far can we push it.
because
But obviously we're going to do
school
these
and
kind of
everything.
tests way out here in super remote areas before you ever try to bring a ship back to a place like Starbase.
Starship remains on a good entry trajectory. External temperatures are coming down.
Okay, good. Oh, we're
Great
reaching
news there. That
subsonic
tells
very
us that
soon.
we are through the phase of peak heating. So we are expecting these temperatures to continue to come down. Once again, we are targeting a soft splashdown in the Indian Ocean around off the northwest coast
Yup.
of Australia. We can see these beautiful views of planet Earth coming in. Yeah, this is very different where we had nighttime views of the ship as it was re-entering. And now we've got daylight. It is about an hour or so after sunrise there in the Indian Ocean. So pretty cool to see this.
Yeah, and it might not seem like it makes a huge difference, but we do get a little bit more light on ship as well for the camera views that we have, which
Yeah,
is very
like
beneficial
look,
for us
it's
to
daylight.
visually see
If you
anything and
look down,
try and
so
correlate that to any of the sensors or
I
data
think
that we have on the vehicle.
Exactly.
this is
That is
what
why
you
we
would see on a
shifted our
plane.
launch window
Actually,
so that
much
we could
higher than
have
if you're on
that
a plane.
daylight in order to
If you're on a
improve
plane, you're
our
probably
observations
by
of
like
the
the
vehicle.
clouds,
So not
maybe
only
like
are we getting all
a bit
the
above
raw
the
data
clouds.
from
Well,
all the
Starship is
sensors
still
that are
much
on
higher than
board
that.
Starship,
Whatever,
but
but
we
we are
also have multiple
subsonic now.
cameras and assets out there that are
Hey, I'm
watching
actually
the vehicle
surprised
and will
the
also be able
fins
to
haven't
tell us
broke yet.
with this visual story that is
Let's hope I
also
didn't
very,
speak
very
too
important.
early.
And as we get down a little bit lower, the Raptor engines are in their chill phase right now, so just essentially getting them primed to turn on. We're going to use those 3 center engines to do a landing
Hey,
flip
this is
and a
actually
landing
really
burn.
interesting
So
how like
we'll come down
it's
kind of in
in
that
an
slightly
older
pointed down
version
belly flop and then
Hichio
fire off
tile,
those
but then it
engines
didn't like
to
burn
flip
through.
us around.
Was it a
And then
new
do that
design or
final
something?
landing burn.
I'm
That should
actually
be
not
coming
sure
up
right
in
now.
just a little over, just under 5 minutes from now. And then hopefully we start hearing some call outs on transonic and subsonic as we slow down. Again,
Oh wait, we're not
once,
subsonic yet.
Once you hear Starship as subsonic, keep a close eye on the flaps. They're going to be working overtime essentially to maintain control of the ship as we get a little more aggressive with this.
So right now, because we're in daylight, we can see a lot more things. Every
We can
single
see
feature of the
that
Starship
we
more
are
clearly.
beginning-
Starship has passed maximum entry dynamic pressure.
All right, great call
Oh,
out
wow.
there. But we can see on this view here that we do have some
It's still
heating
very
there.
hard to believe.
That
Just
looks
1
like
hour
one of the
ago,
forward
this
flaps
thing
on
was all the way
Starship.
in
This
America,
is
and then
to
right
be
now
expected. We
it's
knew
like
that the vehicle
on the other
would
side of the
perform
world.
differently
It's
than
just
what we
amazing.
had seen on Flight 5. This
is going
actually
to be
really
the
good
future
data
of
because
planes.
it tells us what parts of the vehicle at this, what will soon be a higher angle of attack once we drop down below the speed of sound. This is good news, but we can actually, looks like that heating is starting to cool off there.
Oh, so that's
Yeah,
good.
it's a
The
little burn through.
wing didn't break
Again,
again.
it is important
So basically,
to
on Flight
note
4, the
when we
where
start seeing that,
the
through
wing
the ship's
barely
descent
held on, and it was falling off, and somehow the
as
ship
well.
survived.
So, like Kate was
Flight
saying,
5,
we're
it stayed
getting
on,
some
but then
really
it
good
kind of
data
burnt
here.
through. And
Looks
Flight
like,
6,
the
nothing
other
happened to it,
flaps
yet they're
are
still
doing
using
a little
an
better
older
than the one that
version
has
of the
a little
Hichio
burn
tile.
through, which is some good news.
Cool.
Again, constantly watching. We've got a couple minutes until we're expecting to make it all the way back down to Earth.
Exactly. And like we said before, we are not expecting to recover the ship, although that would be great.
Yep, they
That'd be
never
a nice bonus
recover
if
the
it happened,
ship
but it's not
because
really in our expectations
they
today.
wanna like
Um,
they want.
we really want to
It's
push the
not
hardware
like
as
a
we've
real
been
flight
saying,
to them. Like
but
if
really the
it's like
telemetry and the data and
flight with
the
crew
video
and then
that we
cargo,
receive all
of
the way
course
to the
they're
end
gonna
is
like
truly what we're looking for
return
and will
it.
help inform
Anyways,
the
this
future
is called an
designs of this
integrated
vehicle.
flight test. So
We can see some
it's a
flap
flight
movement as the
test
camera is moving
after
around.
all. So
That's what
it's
you're seeing
not a
there is
real
the
mission.
flaps adjusting. We have a camera on one of the flaps there this is the view that you're seeing there.
Okay, this is actually really cool.
And you can also see
Look,
the graphic in the bottom.
like
Starship is
suddenly
flying
we
down past
basically
Mach
lost
1.
all our speed.
And
Now we only have
call outs
900
aligning with this,
kilometers
you can
per
see the orientation
per
of
hour.
the vehicle starting to change. You can follow that graphic at the bottom of your screen. Again, that is why those flaps are changing. They control the orientation of the vehicle.
Yeah, there are
Yeah,
four.
this is
There
Starship
shouldn't
is
be
started
any
the
planes
subsonic belly
like
flop,
around
remains on a
here.
good trajectory.
Imagine the
Say,
Starship
this
just
is
crashes
when
down on a
things
plane,
will
and Starship
start to get a little
like would
interesting.
just
So
crush
this
the
is when
plane
we're
while also being
moving
destroyed
slower than the
itself.
speed of sound. You can see that nose slowly
But then of course
start
that
to tip
wouldn't
down.
happen. They would warn all
And we're gonna
planes to
try and
stay out
maintain
of
flap
this
control the
area
whole way.
as
So
Starship
we are
just
just a couple
bullets
minutes away
through
from
the air.
hopefully doing a landing flip and landing burn if the flaps can hold together.
Yeah, this is such a cool
I think
view.
they can hold
This
together
reminds
because
me,
like
of when we first performed
yeah.
the belly flop maneuver on the high altitude test with serial number 8. We saw the ship come back through, and I always wondered what it looked like from the ship's perspective, and this perspective, I think, helps inform that. We will be, as Dan said, we will be dipping down a little further and really be flying nose first.
Oh, so basically they're just
This higher angle of attack,
reconducting serial number 8, but with like a real flight.
and
They
that
have
will
been
help
making so
inform the
much
limits
more
of flap
progress, but
control
when I
in order to
first
collect
followed up
data
on
for
Starship,
future
it
lander
was
profiles.
flight 2, so yeah. It has been actually a long time.
I mean, we're looking good so far. We've
When
just
they
got
did
about
the
5
serial
kilometers in
numbers, I
altitude
wasn't
to
even
go.
aware Starship was a real rocket. I thought it
We'll
was just a
ignite the engines
concept
when we're still just a
SpaceX
couple
had.
hundred meters over the ground. Do that
And
flip,
back
and
then
then
I
we'll
wasn't
Through
interested
5
in this
kilometers
at all,
altitude
so
remains on a good
yeah.
trajectory.
I have a feeling this is going to look so cool as it passes through the clouds.
Ooh. This is so cool. Yeah, it
obligatory
is
shout
cool.
out to the entire
Look.
avionics
Wait,
team
what's
on
happening?
Starship.
I think it's the
There's
engines are
that
trying to
nose
light
down
up.
orientation.
The flaps are moving to try to get control of the ship. Now I'm actually excited. The first time seeing a
Raptor engines
Starship
will relight
landing in the
and
ocean
help
without
flip
any
the
part
booster
breaking.
back up. This is a more severe flip,
Okay.
given the orientation. The engines will shut down prior to the water making impact.
Okay.
Prior to the
We
vehicle
are
making
about
impact
like
with the
cloud
water.
level now.
Our ship is doing great so far. There's those
Oh
engines
no
relighting.
way. This is so
What
cool.
a great reorientation
Wow.
by Starship.
Wow.
Whoa, how did we even get that view? This is the best Starship flight of all time. I'm serious. Look, we finally get to see that thing, and I can't wait to see it back on the tower. Just landing back on the tower. Let's hope it doesn't go kaboom this time.
Awesome.
That was so
cam
awesome.
Action here. Daylight
There's our
views.
Oof. The Starship is breaking.
Incredible. We
It's on
really
fire.
pushed the
It's
limits
on fire.
ship and it made it all the way back down to Earth.
I am shocked, to be honest. I think many folks are.
Yup.
The
Yeah,
fact
that's
that it
true.
survived all the way through while flying a lesser gen heat shield is just absolutely incredible. And turns out the vehicle had more capability than our calculations predicted. And that is why we test like we fly.
Exactly why we do that. And those views were absolutely incredible to watch. Because of Starlink, we were able to get the views all the way
Yeah,
down,
I know.
as well as the buoys, seeing ship touchdown in daylight.
So cool. So cool.
Yeah, they recorded it on the
we
ship.
want to, unfortunately, wrap up the show.
Yeah, exactly. We'll say congratulations to our teammates at SpaceX and to everyone who supported the Starship program. And thank you to all of our future customers.
Okay, so we won't hear any more of this. Well, if you want to watch it, as I said earlier, I would put this link in the description. And yeah, thanks for watching. And please sub to JJC Aerospace. Thank you.